Let me tell you something. Those dreams are meant to be fought for. Life isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about waking up each day with the drive to go after what you truly desire. Dreams don't chase you, you chase them. Dreams are powerful. They are the fuel that keeps us going, the spark that ignites our passions, and the compass that guides us through life. Yet so often, people dismiss their dreams because they feel too big, too unattainable, or too far out of reach. But here's the truth: every dream, no matter how grand, is worth fighting for. In fact, your dreams are your birthright. They are there for you to pursue, to fight for, and to achieve, but fighting for them means more than simply wishing for them. It requires action, persistence, and a belief that you are deserving of all that you dream. There will always be naysayers, those who tell you that your dreams are unrealistic, that you should settle for less, or that you should follow a more conventional path. It's easy to let these voices drown out your own. But what if you chose to listen to your heart instead of the noise around you? What if you chose to believe that your dreams are not only possible, but are waiting for you to claim them? It's not about listening to those who doubt you. It's about learning to trust yourself, even when the road ahead seems unclear. Your dreams are yours to pursue, and the only person who can determine whether or not they will come true is you. We live in a world that encourages us to play it safe, to follow the well-trodden path. But the truth is that the greatest achievements in history were not accomplished by those who followed the crowd. They were accomplished by those who dared to dream bigger, who were willing to face uncertainty, and who fought through every obstacle in their way. It's not the easy path that leads to fulfillment. It's the path that requires resilience, courage, and determination. And while the journey may not always be smooth, every step, every challenge, and every setback is a step closer to achieving the life you envision. Sometimes the fight for your dreams will be a silent one. No one else will understand the fire inside you, the relentless pursuit of something that others may deem impossible. And that's okay. You don't need anyone's approval to chase your dreams. The only approval you need is your own. And when you believe in your dreams, when you know in your heart that they are meant for you, you will find the strength to keep going, even when the world seems indifferent or even discouraging. There will be days when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. You'll face rejection, failure, and disappointment. But it's important to understand that these are not the end. They are merely parts of the process. Every successful person you admire has faced these same obstacles. What sets them apart is their ability to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. They didn't give up when faced with adversity. Instead, they took it as a lesson, a stepping stone that brought them one step closer to their dreams. The key to fighting for your dreams is consistency. It's not about making huge leaps every day. It's about showing up day after day with the intention of making progress. Even when you feel tired, even when the journey seems too long, remember that each small step is part of a much larger picture. The only way to get closer to your dreams is by continuing the journey, even when the destination feels far away. And in the process of fighting for your dreams, you will grow. You will learn things about yourself that you never knew. You will discover strengths you never knew you had. You will realize that the challenges you faced were not obstacles, but opportunities to become a stronger, more resilient person. At times the fight will be tough, but that's the beauty of it. The harder the fight, the sweeter the victory. Your dreams are not meant to be handed to you. They are meant to be earned. They require your dedication, your effort, and your willingness to keep pushing forward, no matter what. And when you finally achieve them, when you finally stand in the place you've always dreamed of, you'll look back at the journey and realize that every struggle was worth it. Every challenge you faced, every failure, and every setback was all part of the beautiful story of your success. So fight for your dreams because they are worth it, and you are worth it. Your dreams are yours and yours alone. No one else can define them for you, and no one else can limit them. It's easy to get caught up in the opinions of others, to let their doubts, fears, and limitations dictate what you can or cannot do. Society has a way of imposing its standards and expectations on us, telling us what we should want, what we should strive for, and what is acceptable. But if you truly want to live the life you've imagined, you must learn to shut out the noise and focus on your own desires, your own vision, and your own path. No one else has the right to define your dreams but you. This is a powerful realization, because once you understand that your dreams are for you and no one else, you free yourself from the need to seek validation from the outside world. The opinions of others can weigh heavily on your heart and mind, often making you second guess yourself. You might hear voices telling you that your dreams are too big, that you should settle for something more attainable, or that you should follow the traditional, safe route. But here's the truth: those voices are not speaking for you. They are speaking for their own fears and insecurities, not yours. Your dreams are not meant to be confined by the limitations of others. When you allow others to define your dreams, you give up your power. You allow someone else's vision of success to replace your own. You might find yourself chasing goals that were never yours to begin with, living a life that feels empty because it doesn't align with who you are or what you truly want. It's like walking down a path that someone else carved for you, only to realize it doesn't lead to where you thought it would. That's why it's so important to reclaim your power, to take control of your dreams, and to define them on your own terms. It's not just about refusing to let others dictate your dreams, though. It's also about recognizing that your dreams are valid, no matter how unconventional or different they may seem. People often fear what they don't understand, and if your dreams are outside the norm, others may try to discourage you. But remember, the world needs people who dare to be different. It needs people who are willing to step outside the lines and create something new. The ones who create change, who break barriers, and who leave a lasting impact are the ones who didn't listen to the voices telling them to conform. They understood that their dreams were worth pursuing, no matter how strange or impossible they seemed to others. When you stop allowing others to define your dreams, you also stop letting their doubts become your reality. You stop internalizing the fear and negativity that others project onto you. Instead, you start to trust in your own abilities, your own vision, and your own potential. You begin to understand that the only person who can truly stop you is you, and as long as you believe in yourself and are willing to put in the work, nothing can hold you back. People may tell you that your dreams are too big, too bold, or too risky, but why should that stop you? Who says that big dreams aren't worth pursuing? Who says that the only safe dreams are the small ones? The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. If you want to dream big, go ahead and dream big. If you want to push boundaries and break the mold, do it. The world needs more people who believe in their own potential, who push past the expectations of others, and who are willing to take risks in pursuit of their dreams. So, stop letting others define your dreams. Stop letting their fears and limitations dictate what you can achieve. Trust in your own ability to create the life you want, and believe that you are capable of achieving what others might say is impossible. Your dreams are unique to you, and they are valid. It's time to take ownership of them, to fight for them, and to pursue them with everything you've got. When you do, you will find that the world begins to open up to you in ways you never imagined. The road to your dreams is never smooth. It's not going to be a straight path where everything falls into place with ease. In fact, it's often filled with bumps, detours, and obstacles that may make you question whether it's even worth the struggle. But here's the truth: the road to your dreams is supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would be living their dreams right now. The difficulty of the journey is what makes the achievement of your dreams so rewarding. If you want something great, you have to be willing to work for it, face challenges, and push through the hard times. There will be times when the challenges will seem overwhelming. You'll wonder if it's all worth it, if you're doing the right thing, or if you should just give up and settle for something easier. But remember, every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. Every setback, every failure, every difficult moment is shaping you into the person you need to become to handle the success that's waiting for you. It's not about avoiding the hardships. It's about learning to face them with resilience and determination. The tough times will come, and they'll test your resolve. They'll try to break you down, to make you question your abilities, and to push you into a place of doubt and fear. But what you do during these times is what truly matters. You have to choose to keep going, even when it seems like everything is against you. You have to choose to believe that the end result is worth the struggle, even when it feels impossible. Sometimes the road to your dreams will take unexpected turns. You might think you're on the right path, only to find that it leads you somewhere completely different. At first, this can be disorienting. You might feel lost or uncertain about where you're headed. But remember, just because the path looks different doesn't mean it's wrong. Sometimes the detours are exactly what you need to grow and evolve into the person you need to be. The journey isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about everything you learn along the way. What's important is that you don't give up, no matter how many times the road gets rough. You have to keep your eyes on your dreams, even when they seem far off or out of reach. The most successful people didn't reach their goals because they had it easy. They reached them because they were willing to face the challenges head on, to keep moving forward when others would have turned back. They understood that the road to success is not a straight line, but a winding journey that requires patience, persistence, and an unwavering belief that the destination is worth the struggle. Along the way, you'll also learn that progress isn't always linear. Some days will feel like victories, while others will feel like defeats. You'll make progress only to face setbacks that make it feel like you're starting over. But that's part of the process. Success isn't about never falling down, it's about getting back up every time you do. It's about keeping your momentum even when the progress feels slow. The key is to keep moving, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when it seems like the end is nowhere in sight. When the road gets tough, remember why you started. Remember your dreams, your passions, and the vision you have for your life. Keep your eyes focused on that and let it be the driving force that propels you forward. The harder the journey, the more satisfying the success will be when you finally reach it. You'll look back and realize that every challenge was worth it, every struggle was necessary, and every moment of doubt only made you stronger. So don't let the difficulty of the road discourage you. Embrace the challenges, learn from them, and keep going. The road to your dreams may be hard, but it's also full of opportunity. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you've always wanted. And when you finally reach the end of the journey, you'll realize that the tough road you traveled was the very thing that made your dreams so sweet to achieve. Persistence is the key to achieving anything of value in life. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, when the road is clear, and when the world seems to be supporting you. But the real test of your strength, your commitment, and your will to succeed comes when things aren't going your way. It's during these moments, when the obstacles seem insurmountable and the challenges feel never-ending, that your true character is revealed. The ones who succeed, the ones who achieve their dreams, are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never gave up, no matter how hard it got. Persistence doesn't mean you won't face failure. In fact, failure is often part of the process, but persistence means that you continue moving forward even after you've failed. It means you don't let one setback or even many setbacks define your journey. Failure is not the end, it's simply a lesson, an opportunity to learn and grow. If you stop every time you face failure, you'll never get anywhere. But if you keep pushing, if you keep trying, if you keep fighting for your dreams, you will eventually break through. One of the hardest parts of persistence is keeping the faith when it feels like things aren't working. When you've put in the effort, when you've given everything you have, and when it seems like you're not getting closer to your goal, it can be easy to lose hope. You might wonder if it's all worth it, if you're just wasting your time. But here's the thing, success doesn't always happen immediately. Sometimes it takes time for your efforts to show results. Sometimes it takes more than one try, more than one failure, more than one attempt before things start falling into place. The key is to keep going. Even when you feel like giving up, remind yourself of why you started. Remind yourself that persistence, more than anything else, is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's also important to remember that persistence doesn't mean blindly pushing forward without reflection or adaptation. It means that you keep moving toward your goal, but you're willing to learn from your mistakes and adjust your approach when needed. Persistence doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It means being willing to tweak your strategy, to change your course, and to adjust your methods while still staying focused on your ultimate objective. The successful people you admire didn't just persist in the same way. They learned, adapted, and evolved along the way. Persistence is about finding new ways to overcome challenges, about learning from every experience, and about not allowing setbacks to stop you from reaching your goal. Another aspect of persistence is resilience. Life will test you. It will throw unexpected challenges in your way, and there will be times when it feels like everything is against you. But resilience is what allows you to bounce back from these setbacks. It's about getting up when you fall, finding the strength to keep going, and refusing to be defeated. The world is full of people who gave up too soon, who allowed the difficulties of life to make them quit. But the ones who make it, the ones who achieve greatness, are the ones who stand back up every time they fall, the ones who don't let the tough times keep them down. Persistence also requires patience. Dreams don't come true overnight. Success doesn't happen in an instant. It takes time, effort, and consistent action. The road may be long, and the progress may be slow, but every step you take brings you closer to your goal. And even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere, remember that every day of persistence is another day closer to your dream. Sometimes the journey takes longer than we expect, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. The results will come if you keep going. So, when the going gets tough, don't stop. When the world tells you to quit, don't listen. When failure strikes, don't let it define you. Keep going, keep fighting, keep believing in yourself, in your dreams, and in the power of persistence. Every small step you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step closer to the life you want. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that all those moments of doubt, all those times when you wanted to give up, were just part of the journey to success. So be persistent. It's the only way to make your dreams a reality. Life has a way of presenting us with challenges, some small and some monumental, that can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. Every struggle is not an obstacle to success. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. We tend to view hardships as setbacks or signs that we're on the wrong path. But in reality, they are stepping stones that prepare us for greater achievements. Each difficulty, no matter how difficult it may seem, carries with it a lesson that shapes us into stronger, wiser, and more capable individuals. The key is to shift our perspective to see the value in the struggles and recognize that they are often what lead us to success. When we face difficulties, it's easy to get caught up in the emotions of frustration, disappointment, and even fear. The instinctive reaction is often to retreat, to give up, or to seek an easier way out. But doing so means missing out on the lessons that these challenges are offering. Struggles teach us resilience. They teach us patience. They teach us how to adapt, to keep going when we want to quit, and to push through the discomfort. Without these lessons, we would not be prepared for the future opportunities that lie ahead. It's through struggle that we learn the skills necessary to overcome even bigger challenges down the road. When you find yourself facing a difficult situation, whether it's personal, professional, or emotional, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is this struggle teaching me? Is there a way I can approach this situation differently to grow from it? These questions help reframe the struggle as an opportunity for personal development. Instead of seeing it as a burden, you begin to see it as a training ground for your future success. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They got there by embracing them, by using each obstacle as an opportunity to grow stronger and more capable. At times, it's the hardest struggles that bring about the most meaningful growth. Think about the moments in your life when you've faced your greatest challenges. It's during those times that you've learned the most about yourself. You've discovered your true strength, your ability to persevere, and your capacity for change. Those tough moments are the ones that stay with you, that shape you into who you are today. Without them, you wouldn't be as strong, as wise, or as resilient as you are now. They were necessary. They were a part of the journey, and they made you who you are. The road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with curves, twists, and unexpected detours, but that's what makes the journey so valuable. If success were easy, it wouldn't be as meaningful. The difficulties you face on the way to achieving your dreams are what make the end result worthwhile. The joy of reaching your goal comes not just from the achievement itself, but from the realization that you overcame so much to get there. It's the struggle that makes the victory sweet. Struggles also provide us with clarity. When things are going smoothly, it's easy to take everything for granted. But when faced with challenges, we are forced to evaluate what truly matters to us. We gain a better understanding of our priorities, our values, and our goals. Struggles force us to dig deep, to examine our motivations, and to make tough decisions that ultimately guide us toward the life we want to create. In this way, struggles become a powerful tool for self-discovery, so instead of running from challenges, embrace them. Embrace the discomfort, the setbacks, and the moments when it feels like you're not making any progress. These are the moments that will define you. These are the moments that will build your character and prepare you for the success that is waiting for you. Every difficulty you face is part of the process, part of the story that will lead to your ultimate success. The key is to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep growing, even when it feels hard. The struggles are not in your way, they are the way. They are the path to success. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that holds people back from achieving their dreams. It has the ability to paralyze us, to make us second, guess our decisions, and to prevent us from taking risks. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, these are all common fears that keep people stuck in their comfort zones. But here's the thing, fear is not your enemy. In fact, it can be one of your greatest allies if you learn to embrace it rather than run from it. Fear is simply a signal that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where growth happens. Fear often arises when we're faced with something new or uncertain. It's the natural reaction when we're about to take a leap into the unknown. The first time you try something new, whether it's pursuing a big goal, starting a business, or speaking in public, fear will almost certainly make an appearance. But that doesn't mean you should let it stop you. In fact, it's a sign that you're on the right path. The things that scare you are often the very things that will push you to grow, to expand your limits, and to discover your true potential. Without fear, there would be no growth. Without fear, you would never stretch yourself to become something greater. Fear tries to keep you safe. It tells you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid risk and to play it safe. But the problem with playing it safe is that it keeps you stagnant. You may avoid failure, but you also avoid success. You avoid the opportunities that come from taking risks, trying new things, and challenging yourself. The truth is, the greatest achievements in life come from stepping out of your comfort zone, from doing things that scare you, and from embracing the unknown. The more you face your fears, the more you realize that they're not as intimidating as they first seemed. When you learn to face fear head on, it loses its power over you. It stops dictating your actions and decisions. Instead of being paralyzed by it, you begin to use it as a driving force. Fear becomes the energy that propels you forward, rather than something that holds you back. It's important to understand that fear is not something to be eliminated. It's something to be harnessed. Every time you step into a fearful situation and come out on the other side, you build your confidence and resilience. The more you face fear, the less control it has over you. One of the most powerful ways to overcome fear is by taking small, incremental steps. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the magnitude of a goal or a challenge. When you look at the big picture, it can seem impossible. But when you break it down into smaller, manageable steps, you realize that fear doesn't have to stop you. You don't have to conquer everything at once. Each small step you take is a victory. Each small victory builds your courage and diminishes the fear that once held you back. Over time, those small steps add up, and you find yourself accomplishing things you once thought were impossible. Another key to overcoming fear is changing your perspective. Instead of viewing fear as something to avoid, try seeing it as an opportunity. Fear is an indicator that you're growing, that you're challenging yourself, and that you're on the verge of something new. Rather than asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" What would your life look like if you weren't afraid to take risks? What could you achieve if you stopped letting fear dictate your decisions? When you shift your focus from the fear of failure to the possibility of success, you open yourself up to a world of opportunities. It's also important to recognize that everyone experiences fear. No one is exempt. Even the most successful people in the world feel fear. What sets them apart is not that they don't feel fear, but that they don't let it stop them. They keep moving forward despite the fear, and that's what leads to success. Fear is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're on the edge of something great. Embrace it, face it, and use it as the fuel that drives you to accomplish your dreams. The more you challenge yourself to face your fears, the more you'll discover that fear is not something to be feared. It's simply a part of the journey, a signal that you're pushing your boundaries and expanding your comfort zone. And when you come out on the other side, you'll realize that what once terrified you is now something you can handle with ease. Fear will no longer hold you back. Instead, it will propel you forward, making you stronger, bolder, and more confident in your abilities. The biggest obstacle you will face in life is often yourself. It's easy to blame the world, the people around you, or even circumstances beyond your control for why things aren't going the way you want. But the truth is, the only person who truly has the power to stop you is you. It's your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, and your negative beliefs that hold you back. It's easy to let these internal barriers convince you that you can't achieve your dreams, that you're not capable, or that the world is stacked against you. But none of that is true. You are the only one who can limit your success. We all have a tendency to be our own harshest critics. When things go wrong, we often turn that criticism inward. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, or that we don't deserve success. These negative thoughts can be paralyzing. They create a wall of self-doubt that stops you from taking action, from pursuing your dreams, or from even believing in yourself. But the moment you stop letting your inner critic take control, the moment you stop believing the lies you tell yourself, you unlock a world of possibilities. When you start to believe in your own abilities, you realize that the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. These self-imposed barriers are often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of not measuring up, fear of being judged, or fear of the unknown. These fears create a sense of limitation that doesn't actually exist. When you push past them, when you stop allowing your fear to control your actions, you begin to see that your potential is limitless. The world is full of people who have broken through their own limitations to achieve things that once seemed impossible. They did it not because they had some special ability that you don't, but because they refused to let fear and self-doubt stand in their way. The first step to breaking through your own limits is to recognize that they are just that, limits that you've placed on yourself. They aren't set in stone. They can be changed. You have the power to rewrite the narrative of your life. If you've been telling yourself that you're not capable, that you're not worthy, or that you're not ready, it's time to stop. These thoughts are not true. You have the ability to achieve greatness, and the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your own belief in yourself. It's time to let go of the limitations you've placed on yourself and embrace the possibility of success. To break through these self-imposed barriers, you need to develop a mindset of growth. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, start focusing on what you can do and how you can improve. This shift in perspective can make all the difference. No one becomes great overnight. It takes consistent effort, dedication, and a willingness to learn from mistakes. The key is to stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every failure is simply a lesson in disguise, and the more you embrace these lessons, the more you will grow stronger and more capable. Another important part of overcoming your own limitations is learning to trust in your own potential. It's easy to look at others and think they have something you don't, whether it's talent, luck, or resources. But the truth is, everyone has to start somewhere, and everyone faces challenges. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often a matter of persistence and belief. You have just as much potential as anyone else. It's all about recognizing it and taking the steps to bring it to life. You don't need anyone's approval or validation to move forward. The only approval you need is your own. When you believe in yourself and push past your limitations, you create a momentum that propels you towards success. The more you take action, even when you're afraid, the more confident you become. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds your confidence and breaks down the barriers that once held you back. The key is to keep moving, to keep trying, and to keep challenging yourself. The only person who can stop you is you. And when you stop standing in your own way, you open the door to a future full of possibility, growth, and success. It's time to stop letting your fears and doubts dictate your life. It's time to stop limiting yourself and start believing that you are capable of achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. You have the power to break through your own limitations, to push past the obstacles, and to reach your full potential. All it takes is a shift in mindset, a willingness to believe in yourself, and the courage to take that first step toward your dreams. So, stop standing in your own way. Take the leap. Believe in your abilities and watch how your life transforms. Every step you take towards your dreams matters. It's easy to think that success is about making huge, bold moves or reaching the big milestones in one giant leap. However, the reality is that success is built on the small, consistent steps that you take every single day. The process of moving forward might not always be visible or dramatic, but it's those quiet, persistent actions that compound over time and lead you to where you want to be. Every small effort, no matter how insignificant it seems at the moment, is a step in the right direction. Too often, we focus on the end goal, the final achievement, and we forget that it's the journey itself that creates the success. It's the daily choices, the small habits, and the routine actions that determine the outcome. Waiting for a perfect moment or trying to achieve something all at once will only leave you feeling frustrated. Success doesn't happen in an instant. It's the accumulation of countless moments of effort, discipline, and perseverance. Every time you make a decision that aligns with your dreams, you're moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. The small things are the building blocks of progress. Whether it's taking 5 minutes every day to work on a skill, making a phone call to a potential client, or writing down your goals, it's these small actions that keep you on track. You might not see the immediate results, but over time, these little actions stack up and create the foundation for bigger achievements. Every day you make a choice to stay focused, to keep working, to keep moving forward. You're building momentum that will eventually carry you to where you want to go. It's easy to get discouraged when progress seems slow or when the results don't appear right away. But the truth is that it's not about instant gratification. It's about consistency. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It just requires showing up day after day. You might not feel like doing something, or you might not see the immediate payoff, but that doesn't mean your efforts aren't paying off. In fact, the most successful people are often the ones who simply kept going when others gave up. It's their ability to remain consistent in the face of challenges that made them successful. Sometimes the small things are not the glamorous or exciting actions that we envision when we think of success. They are the behind-the-scenes efforts that no one else sees, but that's where real progress happens. It's in the small, unnoticeable moments where your discipline, focus, and determination are tested. If you can push through those moments, if you can keep showing up when no one is watching, you're building something far more valuable than any instant success. You're building a mindset, a work ethic, and a habit that will serve you far beyond the initial victory. The path to your dreams may feel slow, but that doesn't mean you aren't making progress. Small steps lead to bigger steps, and the more you commit to those small steps, the closer you get to your ultimate goal. It's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere when the results don't match the effort you're putting in, but growth isn't always immediately visible. Sometimes it's internal growth, learning, and adaptation that happens in the process. The confidence, skills, and experience you gain along the way are just as valuable as the end result. And remember, small steps also help you avoid burnout. When you try to do everything at once, you risk overwhelming yourself and losing motivation. But if you take it one step at a time, you can sustain your energy and enthusiasm over the long haul. You're in this for the long run, and it's those small, consistent actions that ensure you can keep going without feeling exhausted or defeated. Every step you take is an investment in your future. It may not feel dramatic, but it's building something meaningful and lasting. In a world that often glorifies instant success, it's important to recognize the value of the small steps. The little things you do every day add up. They lead to growth, development, and ultimately, success. So, don't underestimate the power of consistency. Don't let the lack of instant results discourage you. Trust the process and keep moving forward. Every small step is a victory in itself, and it's these small victories that create the life you've always dreamed of. Keep going, no matter how small the steps may seem. They are the path to your ultimate success.